Here's a story that will shock you. It shocked us. A school in Louisiana forcing girls they suspect to be pregnant to take pregnancy tests. If they refuse, they toss them. If they test positive, they also have to go. Obviously, this is outrageous. They were forced to revoke this policy. This story has developed just in the last 24 hours. But regardless of whether or not it's illegal, isn't this the wrong way to handle teen pregnancy? Shouldn't we be giving teens more support, not less? Joining me in studio is Liz Pearl. She is our teen editor. On our Google Hangout, we have Carmen Garcia, Christian Morales, and Natasha Viana. Thank you all so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
So, Natasha, you started this change.org petition stopping discrimination against pregnant students. You got over 100,000 signatures. What motivated you to start this?
Much of my motivation actually came from my own story. When I was 17, I became a mom. I found out I was pregnant. I trusted my nurse, told her, and within a week, all of the teachers in the school knew about my status. And I was only a few weeks along, but they were already making much of my life in high school really miserable and were politely persuading me to either leave the school or get an abortion.
Yeah. Carmen, you were my second mom growing up, and you had my best friend when you were 17, and you were a great mom. But it means that not a lot has changed in the last 29 years.
Unfortunately, I don't think a whole lot has changed. Back in '83, when I did have...
I'm having a little trouble hearing you, Carmen. Can we put
All right, how about if we get a look? Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. Back in '83, when I did get pregnant with my daughter, I did go to my school counselor, and she told me that I should drop out of high school and let me know that I not only wasted my life, but I have already wasted the life of my unborn child. So that was very difficult, but...
So what did you say when she told you that you should drop out?
I told her that I would not drop out. I had nowhere else to go, and I remained in school. I was the only one pregnant at the time that I could recall, so everyone was just staring, and everyone talking behind you and all that, but I just continued to stay in school and persevere.
Yeah. How would your life be different if you had just walked out when she told you to walk?
My life and my beautiful daughter's life would be completely different. She went on to go to college. She has a wonderful job working for VH1. I'm all in education. I'm a teacher, and I continued my education. Once I got a little older, I initially started working, and once I got a little older, my daughter did, I went back to college and pursue my dreams. Now I'm working with young people and also encourage them to continue to move forward past the obstacles.
Liz, this has to be a huge issue on the teen vertical.
Yes. I mean, it just blows my mind that we are still treating these girls like, or teens who are pregnant, like they're going to catch it from their girlfriends, if they're like it's a disease or something, if they're walking down the halls of their school, and we're tar and feathering them, we're giving them a scarlet letter, and we're kicking them out of schools because we don't want to deal with the messy reality that teen moms want to raise their children, they want to finish their education, and they want to be teens. And of course, that is a really difficult thing, but that doesn't mean it's not the school's responsibility to help every student that wants to graduate.
And we tend to focus on this issue as a girl issue, as though there are only women involved in this, like we make babies by ourselves. Christian, I know that you were a teen dad. I know that you have sole custody of your child. Why are guys not in this equation?
I'm not sure. I always ask myself that. Usually it's always the girls that are judged, and they don't see like the guy's perspective. Like, why aren't guys kicked out of school, or why aren't guys like judged or discriminated like girls are,
Yeah, no, and do you think it's because it seems cool to be a dad in a way that it doesn't seem cool to be a mom?
Well, at some points, when I was in high school, it was always cool for like guys to have kids, and for mothers, everyone would just like judge them. Oh, she's just another girl that's gonna drop out within a month. But then you see the guys, and nobody ever says nothing to them.
I want to pull up this picture that I have on my computer of Christian and his daughter. Look at that. How can you not?
It's adorable.
How can you not love that? Natasha, what do you think is sort of misunderstood in this debate? I mean, to me, you know that 70% of teens who give birth ultimately drop out of school. That sort of doubles down on a cycle of poverty, on a lack of access to good jobs, to higher education. You are basically determining that girl's life in high school if you force her to drop out.
Right. I think a huge problem is that a lot of people are eager to write the story of this teen parent's life. When you're promoting to teens that becoming a teen parent means it's the end of the world and your life is going to be ruined, you really don't want to see the teen parent succeed and kind of mess up the image that you're trying to portray of teen parents. What's really important is that we support these teen parents, because the majority of them who drop out don't drop out because they feel like they can't be in school or they can't do the work. They drop out because of the pressure that they're feeling from society. And most of the time it's from the teachers and staff, not from the students. In my case, my pressure all came from my guidance counselor, my teachers, school officials. The students were actually very supportive and were really willing to advocate for me.
Some bad guidance counselors up in this mix here. Christian,
Absolutely.
do you ever feel guilty that all of the emphasis is on women, that there are a lot of other teen dads that have not been nearly as responsible as you have been?
Yeah, actually, because when I was in school, there was actually teen dads and then guidance counselors. When the guys decided to like give up or like try to drop out, the guidance counselors will be like, oh, well, remember you have a little girl, remember you have a little boy. But then when it comes to girls, it's just way different.
Do you have male voices on your site, teen male voices that talk about this?
You know, I think that no one should be punished, like the boy or the girl. And no one should be punished for a teen pregnancy because it's not an offense. And the question of whether they don't get targeted as much in school, no one should be targeted.
No one
really
should
the
be
answer
targeted.
to that.
But we sort of, when we talk about it in the media, we always talk about the moms. And I have no doubt that that has been exacerbated by 16 and Pregnant and I'm a Teen Mom and all of those shows. But the emphasis does seem to be societally on moms, and that seems really unfair.
I mean, it's about education, right? It's ultimately what teens want is agency, and we can't give them agency until, if we're giving them subpar sex education, if we're not giving them, access to the pill under their parents' insurance, or, access to contraception, or if we're expelling them.
Yeah.
And, boys and girls, if they're taught in sex education, about what a responsibility it is for both genders. Yeah. That's the place to start.
Carmen, you work in the school district that you went to, that I went to in Union City, New Jersey. You're a literacy coach, but there's a program there to deal with students who are pregnant that is controversial.
Yes, it's a bit controversial. I think it's absolutely amazing, and I wish they had it when I was growing up. But they actually have a daycare located inside of the high school where young moms are encouraged to continue their education and allowed to leave the baby at the daycare. They also have parenting skill classes that they must attend. And I think it's amazing. It's fabulous. It gives many young girls, I'm sorry, I'm not emphasizing on the young guys, but it does give them an opportunity to continue their education and even educate the fathers, who many may not have a role to follow themselves.
Yeah. Natasha, what is the answer? How do you talk to educators who may not see it this way, who may think that having pregnant girls in a classroom is a distraction, who might think that offering daycare only promotes teen pregnancy? What do you say to them?
First, I would remind them that teen pregnancy has been around since the beginning of human existence.
In fact, it used to be the only form of pregnancy.
Right, exactly. So what's actually happening is clearly teen pregnancy is decreasing over the years. And I know for a fact that since I believe the 1940s, we're at our lowest rate right now. And I think a huge part of that is because there are shows and things going on and we're talking about it more. And there's a lot more access to sexual education, even through the web, that we didn't have years ago. So I would just remind these educators that these teen parents are still the same person they were before they became a parent. The only difference is that they're now bringing another person into this world. So if anything, they need more support, not less support.
All right, Natasha, Christian, Carmen, Liz, thank you all so much for joining me. And now we want to hear from you. Is this policy outrageous? How can a policy like this be in place, and how can we better be supporting teen parents? Join the conversation at HuffPost Live.